Hey y'all, my name is Shy, and I wanted to share a story about how I dated a man on and off for 7 years, and he actually hated me. So in 2017, I joined POF. It's a dating app. It's called Plenty of Fish. The acronym is POF. And just like with any dating app, it's interesting. Like, it gets interesting real quick. So I think I joined roughly around April of 2017, and I met someone roughly around June of 2017. And he seemed really cool, really nice. He got in my DMs, and we started chatting, and from there we exchanged numbers and started talking over the phone. So once we started talking over the phone, he was funny, very charismatic. And initially in meeting him, talking to him, because we hadn't met yet, he told me that he was out of state. He did live in my city. However, he was out of state because he was working a job that required him to be traveling. He actually said he worked for a company that, when people were on strike, they would be the people that would come in and fill the positions while the original workers would be on strike. So he explained that he was out of town. However, he had a contract that should be ending soon, and he will be coming back to our city. So I'm like, okay, cool. So in the meantime, we would talk and just communicate, laugh, and we vibed. Like, in the very beginning, we vibed. He was a good time, very personable, and yeah, everything was cool. So he was asking me things like who I lived with and what was going on in my life. And typically when I meet people, I don't be that forthcoming with like my living situation or what I got going on. So I just was giving him like generalities, like general stuff. Yeah, I live with some people, or, I'm good, I live in a house, or whatever the situation may have been. But I was never like super specific. So he told me, he said, my grandparents live with me. However, they're going to be moving to another state soon, and I'll get the house to myself. I'm like, oh, okay. So what area do you live in? So he told me the area he lived in, and it's really like, I don't want to say upscale, but, typically the houses range from maybe $300,000 to maybe $700,000, like that type of neighborhood. So I'm like, oh, okay. So that's giving me kind of like an idea of like what's going on with him. So I asked him about children. He told me he had a couple of kids. I think at that time he told me he had 2. And then later on, he explained to me that he had 4. And the reason why he didn't mention the 4th one was because he hasn't seen him since he was a little kid. So the mother is gone, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. So we continue to talk over the phone, and from there, he tells me that the contract that he had would be ending in a week. Stay tuned and come back for part 2.